The ends justify the means, a popular quote that I'm sure we've all heard during our lifetimes. But what exactly does it mean? Wikipedia defines it as if a goal is morally important enough, any method of achieving it is acceptable. Another dictionary gives a similar definition, but introduces the idea that not everyone agrees with the decision.
I had to make the decision as to whether the atom bomb was just another piece of artillery. Some who had worked on the bomb argued that it was not just another piece of artillery. They believed that radioactive fallout was a weapon of criminal magnitude.
The book Watchmen is full of examples examining this concept of do the ends justify the means. Take, for example, the overarching plot of the whole story. The culminating point of the whole story occurs when Rorschach and Dryberg confront Adrian Veidt about his plan to unify the world. He claims that by introducing an alien invasion that the US and Russia will stop fighting and join together to fight this bigger enemy. However, when we take a look at the characters on the street, we see that maybe humanity can change and learn to help each other. However, Veidt's plan went through regardless and caused a ridiculous amount of damage, causing 7 million deaths in New York City. He celebrates upon doing so because he thinks he has just saved the world. However, when he asks Dr. Manhattan what he thinks of his plan, he gives him a confounding answer, leaving Adrian to wonder if he did the right thing. So, did the ends justify the means? Another example addressing this same concept involves the character Rorschach. He is an uncompromising individual who believes in absolute justice, and therefore absolute punishment for those who do not abide by the law. In the book, a man kidnaps a young child and feeds her to his dogs. When Rorschach hears about this, he goes over to the man's house, slaughters his dogs, and ultimately kills the man by tying him down and burning him alive. So, what do you think about this case? Do the ends justify the means? A third example in this book examining the same topic involves the pirate story. The pirate has just returned home from his journey and believes that he must save his family. However, when his raft made of dead bodies is discovered by citizens, he kills them in order to save his family. But in the end, the pirate realizes that he had been wrong all along and that there never was any need to save his family. Watchmen examines many cases addressing the idea of whether the ends justify the means or not. Although it is not the intention of this video to persuade you whether the ends did justify the means or not, I would say that most people would agree that Rorschach's situation was the most acceptable out of the three. This concept appears in real life as well. Take the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings, for example. Sure, they ended the war quicker and saved numerous American lives, but what about the Japanese lives? It is important to remember that there are two sides to every story. It is often difficult to tell who the good guys and bad guys are in cases like these. Was Adrian Veidt a hero? I mean, his intentions were extremely honorable. Or what about Rorschach? He murdered a man, but it was in retribution, so does that make it okay? Do the ends ever justify the means? When did the ends justify the means? These questions will likely never have solid answers, but it is important to keep this in mind and approach these situations from everyone's point of view.